Let's go. Let's go. Make sure y'all run it up, baby. We got 25 in the chat already. Let's go. Big vibes tonight. Big vibes tonight. Appreciate y'all for pulling up. It's your boy, Coach Smook, man. We here for another evening segment, another show, man. Another segment. And tonight is a little different. Tonight is a little vibe. We got a special guest sitting in the back. Listen, you know it's real when you got the people and they really respect what you do and they show up early for you, right? And they be ready to talk some football. Man, I'm telling y'all tonight we got a special surprise. A lot of y'all already know who's back there in the back. But before we jump into that, listen, I want to show y'all love as you all come in. Kimberly Harmon is in the chat. Let's go. Zach is in the chat, my number one caller, always being first. You done missed 2 days in a row, Zach. I ain't gonna talk about it though. We're gonna get back to that. Kyle is in the chat, man. Roll Tide, my God. Nicole, my sister, is in the chat. Let's go. Shalimar Branch is in the chat. Let's go. Run him. Caller is in the chat. Let's go. Jordan is in the chat. We here. What's up, AAA family? We here. Joseph Davidson is in the chat. Roll Tide, my brother. Welcome back for another segment. Bino, what's good, man? Let's go, man. Listen, I appreciate everybody for pulling up. Brittany B showing love tonight. Listen, if you're in the chat on YouTube, go ahead and stop for a second. Make sure you hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe. But also take 20 seconds to just share it on one of your major platforms. I don't care where it's at. Facebook, TikTok, Twitch, wherever. Let them know that the Coach Smook Evening Show is live right now. The Coach Smook Network is popping. And today we have a special guest. But before we get into it, let me show y'all some love, man. I know a lot of y'all are trying to figure out what is AAA, how do you become a AAA member? Where we've revised the commercial, and I'm gonna put y'all on game now. Here we go. Here go the updated little commercial. Y'all take some time and pay attention. Here we go. Roll film. Glad you chose to stop by the channel today. Just wanted to give you an opportunity to really become a part of this community here at the Coach Smook Network. We like to call ourselves the AAA family. The AAA stands for authenticity above all. We just want to give you an opportunity to become a part of this community because we're growing and we're doing something special here as a fan base, not just for Alabama, but the fan community as a whole. We're creating an environment where it's safe to be yourself, be authentic, and meet people who share the same passion you share, whether it's for the same team or not. You can do this by becoming a member of the AAA family and earning your birth certificate, as we like to call it. You simply start by just clicking the link provided to you by one of the moderators in the chat, or it'll be pinned to the top of the chat. Click that link, it'll bring you to my homepage. When you get to my homepage, make sure you hit the notification button and turn on all notifications. Understand that there are multiple ways to support the channel, and each level has its perks. You can go through and read each perk. As we continue to grow, new perks will be added to each level. One thing we would like to highlight that all AAA members are greatly appreciated. It does not go unnoticed that you have taken time and hard-earned money to support this channel. Once you join, YouTube is going to ask for some payment information, and make sure you monitor your subscription dates. Also, if you really want to get interactive with the community and find out what's going on, think about joining our Discord family. This is where you can get into all the fan talk of the community, and also there are networking opportunities. Please be mindful that there are rules and that we expect everyone to treat everyone with respect. Also, if you're looking to partner with Coach Smook Network or sponsor, please hit us up at coachsmooknetwork@gmail.com, and our staff will get back to you in a timely manner. I'm your boy, Coach Smook of the Coach Smook Network, and I thank you for supporting this channel. Yeah, how y'all like that? Y'all like the adjustments we made, man? I think I'm liking it, but without further ado, we are on limited time. We got one of the greats, man, sitting in the back, y'all. He's ready. He looked like he focused, ready to talk some football, ready to give us his evaluation, his takes. The former Alabama great defensive back, played for the 92 national championship team. Y'all remember his play for famously chasing down, I forget the guy's name, chased him down, ripped the fumble, and then I think they ended up calling the play back or something. But he's here to tell part of that story maybe at some point in time tonight. But we brought him on, expert analysis, former NFL great, former Alabama great, still doing work in the football community. Everybody, take a second, get on your feet, stand up, Let's welcome my uncle, Uncle G, George Teague. Welcome, Uncle G. How you feeling this morning, this evening? I'm sorry.
Hey, man, it's all good. I'm actually trying to figure out how you got all that bass up in here, man. I'm rocking over here my headphones, man. I'm bobbing like a bug over here, man. So I'm like, I got to get some of these cuts, man. What's up?
Listen, man. Look, Coach Smook Network, we got edits. We working on getting our editing together and all that stuff. So you need some help, man. Look, I'm here, man. I'm looking. I'm doing it, man. I'm trying it. Look, I'm excited. I can't tell everybody enough. This is huge for me. The first time we was on the panel together, I was still, on my fanboy. Every time I see you, I talk to you. I'm like, this is real. But now my pops is gonna probably pop in this chat, and when he see you on this screen, he probably gonna blow my phone up, man. Let me talk to George T. But yeah, man, glad to have you on, man. Introduce yourself to the people, just for the people who ain't really Bama fans that probably don't know who you are for real. Introduce yourself to the people,
Yes, appreciate it, man. Hey, man, as he said, I did play for the University of Alabama in 1989 and 92. Won a national championship, went on to go play the National Football League 9 years. Absolutely had a blast. Ups and downs, retired as a Dallas Cowboy, though. Current athletic director now at John Paul II High School in Plano, Texas. That's where I'm at. Now I'm a podcaster as well, so I ain't quite got it like Smook just yet, like Coach. But Teague's Take, we do it on Wednesday nights, me and my son. So it's pretty cool, man. Be able to do the NFL analyst work. I do a lot of stuff with the Cowboys.
Yes, sir.
Still, I do a pregame show with them on CBS, and then a postgame show the next day on Mondays on Bally Sports and DallasCowboys.com. So y'all can find me there as well. Just branching out, man, doing this thing. Love talking football, like you said, man. It's in my blood, bro. It's in my blood.
Listen, I already know, and I tell people this quick story. Our last interaction in person was A-Day. I got to see you going in before the flag football game. Looked like you had been stretching a few days ahead.
You see me tote that one for 42. I think that touchdown
I
for
42. I said, shut it down after that. I said he good straight away. He ain't trying to make no cuts in there. He was
man, he ain't trying to blow out no Achilles out there messing with them boys.
No, sir. But then, but sitting in the booth, man, we was up in the media booth, able to watch the game from the booth. And literally on the first drive, me and you were like 3 seats down from where I was. And I got up to go get some more of that food because, I was tearing it, but they had some good mac and cheese up there.
It was on.
They was hooking brothers up, you know what I'm saying? But I walked by and he's doing the same exact thing on the piece of paper that I'm doing down there on my end. And that's drawing out little pass concepts and the blocking scheme that we have not seen at Bama since. Even when Sarkisian and Lane Kiffin were here, we didn't see that much tackle pull on, pass concepts. So it was crazy to see that we were, and I give credit to where credit is due. Very much more experienced, very well versed in the game of football and understanding philosophies. So for me to be on that track in my young stages of the career that I'm in and the young coach career that I've started, to know that I'm on the right track, to be on the mindset, kind of like where you're at, man, it just did my heart good. I'm like, okay, I'm doing the right work. I'm looking in the right place. So that was the last in-person interaction, was able to get in touch with you. And now we're here. And I'm ready to dive into this roster. Tonight, we just going to do a roster review, man. We're not going to get crazy. We might talk a little scheme or something. But I just want to, you were at the A-Day game, and before we dive into just breaking down different position groups, different players, give me your overall assessment on both sides of the ball. You can start on defense or offense. You pick a side, you take it away, just your overall assessment of what you've seen compared to, some of the feels and some of the thoughts from other analysts and things that were being projected.
Yeah, man. It was really good to see. It was kind of hard because of the format that they had. All offense on one side, all defense on the other side. So trying to watch who was sub and who was playing where and against who and all that stuff made it a little bit difficult, just not knowing all of it. But my take is really that I think the offense looked dynamic and advanced, if that's a word I can say. I'm saying looked a little more complex, even though it might not have necessarily been. It was just something different. That you said. But then that, being a defensive guy, it bothered me a little bit because they were having a success against our defense. So I had to look at that in a realistic way, So from the defensive side, I think there's a lot of positives, but I wasn't happy with the way we tackled. That ain't got nothing to do with scheme or anything. We're just letting guys run through us. I couldn't get with that part.
Right.
As a whole. So I walked out of there feeling like, man, we got a good chance. We're gonna sneak up on some people still, just because they didn't. And this is before we got any of the other transfers, coming in. So I was like, well, we should be able to surprise some folks and be a whole lot better than people think that we were going to be.
And I agree with a lot of the offensive side. Like I wouldn't even say advanced. It just looks more attractive. You get what I'm saying? That's what I would say. It looked a lot more attractive, being that you saw pre-snap motion on just about every snap. You saw a lot of shifts. You saw like basic concepts in the passing game and run scheme, but you saw the shifts. You saw what the pre-snap eye dressing that they want to implement, because that's literally the name of the game right now on the offensive side. You want to move and shift to create mismatches, see how quick you can identify mismatches before the defense makes their adjustments, and that's how most offenses, well, the successful ones, are attacking. So Kalen DeBoer and that staff, they have a good gauge on that, in my opinion. And defensively, like Kane Womack said, they didn't dial up anything. They were really working. You seen that they were dialing up the defensive front, the 4-man stunts, but nothing on the second level. A lot of linebackers being dropped into coverage, trying to get guys to react a lot quicker from being in a base coverage standpoint and reacting and getting to the ball. I could kind of see that concept. So when I thought about it from that standpoint, I think the only thing that I came away with was the poor tackling early on. That's the only thing. A lot of people look at the scheme. They was like, that's gonna give up run this and run that. All you gotta do is turn on film from South Alabama and how they played the run game last year, and you'll be just fine with how Kane Womack is going to dial up how aggressive he's going to be calling his defense. So we share a lot of same thoughts.
What people got to be excited about is going into a little bit more of what you said of basically saying there's a whole lot of vanilla stuff, right? We're saying keep it simple when you're in a spring game. You put in a new offense, you got a new coaching staff. You can't dial up a whole lot of stuff on defense. So all the runs won't happen like that against our defense during the regular season. But the extra positive I got on the offensive side when I use that word vanilla is that if this was vanilla, we're way, way ahead. I know we don't want to talk about a whole lot of specifics, but there's one thing that he kept running. It was a quad set.
Yeah.
With an overload. So they had like 5 people on one side. I'm going like, this is, something that you're putting in right away, and that is confusing to any defenses. So Kellen DeBoer did a good job because he know everybody's watching on TV, every team in SEC and around the country going, man, what are we going to have to deal with? And you put something in there like that, and you only been there a few months.
Not even a few months. 15 practices of this.
Yeah. So I'm sure they're like, oh, if this is vanilla and simple, with all the shifts, they move it back, move the tight end over, send the receiver in motion, and then another one coming. We got jet sweep coming, and then they, counter off of it later. Even when you see it on paper, like what we were doing, we were drawing it up. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this.
Video game, because it's like stuff it's stuff you don't trust to do when you talking about eating up space or using space, maximizing your space. So in my early days as a pass game coordinator, I know we had a quarterback, quick, get the ball out quick. That was his game. Anytime we had to go second level, second phase read, dropping off of that second read, trying to get back to your check down, it was going to cause a hiccup. So the way we started designing this was forcing him and the play to the direction we need him reading in at levels. And I saw a lot of that with Jalen Miro, how the pass game was getting thrown across his face instead of him having to go look for it. It was getting called to come across his face with a lot of the major reads that he need to be focusing on. And with that, it's teaching him, okay, this is what I need to attack. This is what I need to identify off of the snap. Pre-snap read is going to give me this. If this is the step by the safety and the underneath linebacker does this, I know I got this coming in. My receiver should be reading it. You get what I'm saying? And that's another thing. You didn't see a lot of option routes being ran in this offense. And I know we're probably going to see more implemented as the season progresses, but I didn't see a lot of option routes being ran on that side of the ball. And to be able to scheme up solid pass scheme like that without giving your guys options and trying to make them read and adjust, I think that's a good sign to see how this offense is progressing and how these guys are retaining.
No, you're absolutely right. And he did such a good job of being able to flood zones on both sides where you think it was on the opposite. I mean, they were coming from the other side to flood over there. Those are always cool to me. Jalen Milroe, good Lord, man. If y'all, like he's saying, if they get him to really take on this pre-snap read stuff and add the running game, there's a lot of things that tease in there that we were breaking down the film going, okay, was this a read option? Was he able to pull this thing if he wanted to? Because it would be extremely nasty with the way he was throwing the ball. He didn't throw the ball a whole lot, but all them throws that he had, they were on the money. He was dropping dimes, that big deep over, or you know the one I'm talking about. Early on, he went up for about 50. Man, golly, man, it was really good. But there were so many things that came off of that could have happened, as well. And that's going to cause some problems. So if Jalen Milroe is, on point, as you said, getting pre-snap reads, getting the ball out quick, but then still being able to utilize, hey, we forgot that he can still run the ball.
Run it. Like, and that's crazy. The thing. That was a run in the scrimmage. And they called him down, of course, but Milroe probably breaks that for like 47, 60 yards, something like that, before the safety Malachi Moore and Keon Sabb were going to probably track him at an angle. But even then, man, like I don't think people realize how fast our back end of our defense is this year. Like, I mean, Red Morgan, Keon Sabb, Damani Jackson, Xavier Brown.
Man, I love me some Xavier Brown now. I'm sure we're getting that a little later on, but
I'm thanking him for a lot. I purposely pulled that huddle film highlights just so when we start breaking down the secondary, I figured Xavier Brown, and I saw it on the A-Day. I think it was the second drive defense came out, and he ended up having to match. He had the zero coverage on his side. And I think it was either Kendrick Law. No, it was Caleb Odom. He was matched up with Caleb Odom. And when I say he jammed Caleb Odom up so strong and I mean in phase, Ty Simpson wanted to throw that pass so bad. And the thing was, he was running with first group and second group at that corner spot. He went ISO one side and then he went to boundary to with the other group. So I mean, that just tells you what type of growth he's having. Anything you seen defensively on the back end, like we're gonna jump into it. But anything.
We ain't gotta wait.
Let's jump into it. Listen, let's break it down. I want to jump to the secondary. You the secondary specialist. That's your area of the field. Let's jump into it because that's been a huge concern in the offseason for a lot of our fan base. We lost this. Caleb Downs is gone. Earl Little, Antonio Kite, Christian Story, Jake Pope. Who else, man? Trey Amos leaves and transfers. Kool-Aid and Terrion go to the draft. That's 9 names right there. You lost from this. We've never lost that many in the secondary in 1 year, even the draft.
Yeah, I was terrified. We're definitely terrified on what it's going to look like. I still have a little bit of worries, not because of we don't have talent, because they are very talented. I think it's youth. You're still playing with. You got to have guys that understand how to play in these pressure games of the SEC. Right. It doesn't matter what schools you come from, man. When you jump in there and you playing LSU and George and all them dudes, it's a whole different deal. And I know what it's like to have those butterflies as a young one and trying to make it happen. So because I was one of the few, back in the day, all the freshmen pretty much got redshirted. So I was able to play as a true freshman. There's only 2 guys on my team that were able to play as a true freshman. So watching these guys and see what they were doing is outstanding because. And I don't want it to sound like I'm making a knock on what we've been doing in the past, but I'm so particular on how you line up, where you line up, what you're trying to disguise, and so it looked like there were a lot of adjustments on those where you're just leveraged better and you're able to make a better play on the ball. And our guys are even looking back for the doggone football, which that's their, what Coach Womack wants, to be able to look back at the quarterback to find the ball. It's going to lead to more interceptions.
100%, and it's all about alignment. That's one thing and it was awesome seeing Coach Saban disguise and scheme the way he schemed. But I think at some point he got so reliant on guys coming into the secondary. It was probably after the 2016, 2017 group. After they left, it was never a full back end of group of guys that all got it at the same time. I mean, the safety positions was just horrible for 2019, 21, 22. The safety position just bad, man. And then you finally get Caleb Downs in, but who's next to him? Jalen Key played horrible last year. And you bring in Christian Story, and for some reason, after he plays the only 2 game stretch of his career, Jalen Key comes back and he replaces Story. Like it just started. It didn't make sense. But even in alignment, a lot of those trip bunt sets, I didn't like the fact that we weren't point on point. You know what I'm saying? Like, why not walk your third best cover guy, who's probably your star, your money, right?
Yeah.
Why not walk them down and give them an opportunity to disrupt, the point of a bunch set, or even in the wide trip sets, walk those inner guys down, and that's one thing I saw. The Husky, the Rover and the Husky, they were walking down on those slot guys. The tight end, I mean, just playing close to the line of scrimmage and being allowed to be athletes. But when they were giving that base coverage, those drop coverages, you could see they were able to get back to their zones, and they were actively looking, being able to watch the quarterback eyes. They read, see ball, go get ball. I love seeing that for them. And it started slow. We saw how slow it started, but that second half, them guys took it personal, and they started kind of, jumping, trusting their instincts, and that's what they're going to be able to do throughout the season. And I think it was probably, philosophy-wise, it was probably forced. They probably forced them to do that. See when they're going to step up and start playing football instead of trying to run a playbook.
That's right. You had to switch up some because of, leaving that somebody uncovered or something, and just figured, hey, we're just going to rally to the ball and force them to throw stuff. These teams are too good for you to, if you're supposed to be 4-over-3, but we're only showing 3-over-3, and then they throw a quick screen, and you get in the bubbles, or you're outside and they run those quick slants. Man, I got so tired of seeing that, the past few years. So just seeing the closeness and the way they're using their hands, and actually squeezing these things and actually paying attention to what a quarterback is actually looking to maybe give you some more time. That was very refreshing. Malachi Moore, man, he'll bring in the heat too, bro. Right off the beginning, he was hitting, coming out of safety, coming deep. So I was loving seeing that. But they were all trying to hit at least. And so I think with the schemes that we're going to have, we're going to be in a better position to try to help on those plays. It's going to help maybe protect some of the deep throws, and even the quicker slants.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's one. And I was just looking at a stat today about Texas and how many times they throw the hitches.
Man,
and and like 50% of the time. I mean, I just looked at that today, and we got to be able to stop stuff like that with the way that we line up.
Right.
And I think we're going to be in better position to do that. Now, the other piece, which I was really happy with from the defensive standpoint early on now, is we did a better job of recognizing who's coming out of the backfield.
Yes, very much.
Yeah. So, tracking that running back, because those wheel routes and those, arrows, I don't know what you call them in your offense, but anytime that, the running back was coming out of there and heading out to the flat, or trying to get inside of you or something, we were a lot better with that. I think we only busted that one time from what I could tell. So I was very happy to see either a linebacker or a safety actually picking him up.
So let's jump into it now. Let's get into the defensive back group, man. And this right here, I pulled up Xavier Brown's high school senior film. I think this is career highlights. Let me see. Yeah, this is his career highlights. So all 4 years of high school. And I kind of want to just, not just breaking down the film, but what is it about Xavier Brown? And then you can talk about whoever else in the secondary. But Xavier Brown getting the nod as one of the potential starters, even with Deshaun Jones and King Mack, Cam Howard. I think King Mack is probably going to get pushed as a safety area, that Rover Husky area. Deshaun Jones probably going to be the immediate competition for that boundary corner to give us a little bit more experience there. But Xavier Brown, what gives him the nod if we decide to go with Xavier Brown? What is it? What's your evaluation of him?
Well, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to steal this. First of all, he's playing on both sides of the ball. This right here just shows instincts and the quickness that he actually had just to run and get through traffic and find the ball. Right. So I broke this film down with Coach Dave Campo. I don't know if you guys know him.
Yeah.
He used to be my head coach at the Dallas Cowboys, and this is what he said about him. He said Xavier Brown could play for the Jacksonville Jaguars right now. Right. Mm-hmm. And you see this he looked like Antonio Langham right there to me.
Yeah. Hey, I remember Minka used to be able to play with instincts like this, man. Just kind of line guys up and he'll press you and give you just enough cushion and just had a innate ability to.
I'm sorry, because I don't know if they actually show. If you actually see, that was the number one play. He was in press. He was he was at the bottom of the screen. So you guys make sure you guys rewatch this. These down here where his hips and be able to stop, restart again, locate the ball. This is
it's the one right here.
This is outstanding. Look at this. I mean, we work on them drills and you hoping that your cornerback can be able to do this, but you can jam with your left hand, turn around, jam with your right hand. Do it again, then find the ball. I mean, look at that. Switching hands.
And no holding, no grabbing, not once. Trusting your footwork, keeping your base. So and being able, you know what? It takes a lot of core strength and a lot of twitch muscle activity to be able to generate enough force to stay in phase while a guy is trying to go full stride at you forward. You're backpedaling, chopping, using half the amount of steps. You got to use twice as many steps because you're covering half the amount of ground. And you're able to stay in phase without grabbing and using him for momentum. That's strength. That's technique. That's sound. I mean, just trusting everything you've been taught.
Yeah, no, that's right. And I can't emphasize enough while you're watching this film, he's playing on both sides. So whether or not he's going to the field or playing in the boundary or something, there is different techniques that you got to be able to use. It's just awkward, One is like being left-handed and right-handed. So for him to be able to do this, be patient enough like this, chase, close his speed, get his hands in, not panic. I mean, it's really, really good. And I'm really looking forward to see him develop and progress. I do anticipate him being on the field nice, quick, and early. I know some competition going on out there, but I think he's ahead of the game. We didn't even get to the part where he was actually showing that he could hit as well.
And see, that's what I was going to say too. I think that is the part that allowed this staff to go ahead and give him the nod to say, hey, you can just like Red Morgan. A lot of people didn't expect Red Morgan to get pushed inside to that Husky rover position and then start. Like they thought he was too slow to cover on the boundary. I beg to differ. I've watched that young man play since he was in 7th grade. And no matter where you put him at in the secondary, he's played safety. He's played the strong safety position and played your traditional boundary. He's played your ISO. He's a baller. Thing is, now he's learning that, okay, film study that they made me go to in high school, it paying off. Because that's literally what's happened for him at the University of Alabama. Talking with Coach Mo Linquist one day after practice, share with him that I was from Phoenix City. I kind of knew, kind of grew up with Red, not grew up with him, but watched him grow up. And I said, he's always been the smallest dude on the field. Never once has Red had a serious injury to keep him off the field. And that was everybody's concern about him. Can he gain enough weight to get on the field? I'm telling you, Red will show up probably 180 pounds soaking wet, but you won't be able to tell the difference by the way this young man crashes. And I mean crashes, flies to the ball with a relentless type of mentality, kind of like Honey Badger, kind of like what we used to get from Mark Barron. I mean, like that type of energy. And he doesn't tackle with his arm. He's a solid tackler, brings the pain. But more than anything, his ball skills is there. And I think with this freshman group, that's what this staff sees. That's why you didn't see them go head over heels for guys in the portal. They got quality guys that fit the scheme, in my opinion.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying?
Well, they trigger fast too. It's basically what you're saying. They're not waiting around to try to go make a play. They're being very, smart. Or playing the tendencies a little bit. Hey, then when you get this and they're teaching these guys is to go ahead and take your shot sometime. We're going to let you play fast. We're going to confuse them up front a little bit. And when you see something, if you see the ball, the quarterback throw the ball, go get it. Don't hesitate and wait. So we were always kind of waiting, let them catch the ball, then tackle them kind of thing. Now I think it's going to be a whole lot more aggressive of go get the ball, create turnovers, get the ball back into the offense's hands.
So another thing I want to jump on top of here is we got a legacy on the roster, man. Got a legacy in Drake Kirkpatrick Jr. I think that was a lot of people who don't know and haven't watched this young man play, but they look at the star rating and they're like, he's only a 3-star. He only got a scholarship because of who his dad is. No,
that ain't true.
You turn on the field, you will be sadly mistaken. And this is his highlight film, his career highlights, and this is a mixture of his freshman all the way to he didn't play varsity until his sophomore year. So his sophomore year all the way up to his senior year. And I just want y'all to look at the natural instincts of this young man.
Yeah,
ball skills. More. Not as technically sound, not as fast as his father was, but the ball skills for me, the intensity to play the ball, his willingness to gamble and play the ball, and more times than none, he's making the right choice. Is just instincts and IQ, being able to dissect routes early, something that he learned from his father early in his playing. What's your assessment on Drake Kirkpatrick Jr.?
Yeah, he's going to the house a lot when you see him. I mean, when ain't nobody in the picture here, right? So on this film, you're going to see a lot of him returning the ball and all that kind of stuff, and maybe not necessarily all the DB skills that you want to see on a highlight film. But this right here tells you what kind of player he is when you watch these, because he's always in the end zone. He's finding a way to make people miss. And so, when his instincts are impeccable. I think he's someone that can play inside because he is physical too. Once you get to that part of the film, he can hit. And if he ever gets his hands on the ball, it's probably going to go to the house or something like this. So it was good to watch him too. He had the big play. I know it was a broken play in the game, in the spring game when he got the interception in the end zone. But still, there was another one. Golly, look at this. Golly, did you see that?
Just look how he gets. That's what I'm saying. Like
he jammed the guy up on the outside, and then comes up and smashes the guy. That's why I think he's going to be a strong safety.
You know what? Wow. Let's be parents in the stands real quick. What are they throwing the flag on right now? What's the flag?
There ain't no flag. You hit him too hard. If you that man, don't hit my baby like that. We can't hit like that. Whatever, man. Decleat these dudes.
Hey, listen. And then he goes to wide receiver. That's what I'm saying. The ball skills is what I feel like. He and Jalen Mbakwe, I feel like when they get reps on the field, they're going to do more than what's asked of them because of how fluid they will be and how comfortable they are playing and making plays with the ball in their hands. You know what I'm saying? Like anytime there's an opportunity to make a play with the ball, I feel like Drake Kirkpatrick is going to try to make that play. And because of his length, because of his height, his wingspan, I think he got like a 6'4.5" wingspan, very long arms, strong, footwork is there. Doesn't have that top end speed, right? Doesn't have that top end speed like the other guys in the secondary. But I guarantee you a year to be able to develop at Alabama under that strength and conditioning staff, we'll see I saw a difference in Jalen Mbakwe, over 60 days of him getting into that facility. So I can just imagine what Drake looked good in the A-Day game, man.
Don't shy on how much the experience has helped for a guy like this, right? So he's going to get on the field, I think, kind of early, play a lot of special teams maybe early on because you can see what he can do. He can run, well enough that he can get down the field. He's going to be able to make some plays and he's going to bring the wood. And that's just going to amplify. It makes me think of me in my freshman year, right? Didn't matter how good I thought I was,
right.
But I had to earn my due a little bit with that. I was running down on kickoff team, and then they see you speed a little bit more. Then you make a tackle, and they go, "Oh gosh," and then you show your smarts, and you get in that film. Now you even look faster just because you're more equipped with knowledge of who you're playing against and how to make yourself. Because people would always ask me, Smook, how'd you get there? How'd you know? Well, that's film study. And I just left a little bit faster than somebody else because I had a good coach to be able to tell you, hey, when they line up like this and you got this formation and it's against this coach or whatever it is, and if you pay attention to that, dude, you can play a long time in the National Football League. Now, he already got the juices and the what do you call it? The genes from his dad.
The DNA.
Yeah, the DNA. That's it. Thank you. And so it's going to be fun to watch him progress because he's going to be pushing somebody a whole lot quicker than maybe some have given him. Just because you said, 3 stars versus 4 or 5, man.
That's a camp visit. That's a camp visit to me. Like I just didn't feel like getting up for this camp for the 3rd, 4th week in a row to go and get 4 reps, be out there 7 hours in a day, 8 hours in a day just to run 4 reps. Nah, I'd rather continue to go and develop with my team, go to these personal trainers and these development trainers, perfect my craft, let my film do the talking. Somebody gonna see me. Somebody gonna see me. I play in one of the top regions in the state of Alabama. Like, that's what Dre did. Same QB Reese. A lot of people, they talking about QB Reese being a 3-star coming in before he got, I think he finally ended up as a 4-star. But this 24 prospect, definitely 5-star quality. You look at the other 5-star, you stack him up against 5-star quality. So I don't give too much weight into that star system. We had a debate about that on our channel probably the first week. But getting back into the roster, we talked about the secondary, a lot of young guys in the secondary. Dre getting his opportunity. I think he, like you said, he's going to be pushing for guys, especially with his opportunities this season. Our linebacker room, inside linebacker, edge rushers. I feel like when you talk about most talented group, and I'm saying from top to bottom, talent-wise, maybe not the best group, but talent-wise as far as the most highest ceiling and the highest base right now of any group with the amount of people that they have, I think the linebacker room, you include those guys, the inside linebackers with the edge, I think that's a group that's going to show up and show out this year for this defense. They're going to be relied on heavily to be able to eat up space, and we got the skill sets, in my opinion. Man. Who in that linebacker room is standing out to you early, or do you expect to emerge once the season kicks off?
Yeah. So, first, let me say, I see there's another Teague in the chat down here. I don't know who Glenn Teague is, but I just like your name. That's I appreciate that.
We thought that was your people one week. They came in here like the first week I kicked the show off, came in here, and I was like, "Oh, you related to my Uncle G? You related?" They was like, "Nah, I'm not related. I don't think so." I said, "I don't know that Teague name."
Hey man, if you're anywhere from around Ohatchee or Anniston, Alabama, we might be related. But but anyway, man, the linebacker crew is gonna be so much better from the way that we read, like you said, because they're going to be able to run to the ball. You can see that in the spring game, the way that they were triggering and not waiting. I think in the past we've had our reaction time was a little bit slower. So I did watch Campbell. No, sorry. Yes, Jaheed Campbell.
Yep.
Man, I think he and Lawson are both going to have good years. I think Lawson is going to be able to use his speed a little bit more. So he was kind of on his heels sometime, if I can put it that way, and maybe a little bit late on the run. But the way that they're putting the back end and the front end and allowing these linebackers to be able to run, I think Lawson, man, is going to be the dude, honestly.
I think this year he gets to play more of a Mike situation. And you got guys with skill sets like Jaheed Campbell who diagnosed the run game very, very well. Jaheed Campbell does that well, and you got Jeremiah Alexander behind him kind of playing that will. Those two guys, you want those guys with their skill sets and what they do, which is basically blow it up. They hit gaps hard. They're relentless in their pursuit. They're not necessarily reactive as those other two guys in Lawson and Justin Jefferson.
I'll say how you feel about Justin Jefferson, because I'm thinking you got 4 really. I mean, there's more, but you got a good solid rotation that you're going to be able to have if you're going to keep 4 up front,
Yeah.
2 in the back and the 5 DBs, but you got guys here that can run. And
Yes.
I think what I like the most, and I don't, and you said it, I'm going to keep saying it again, is the way you play up front, right? And I know we're going to get to the linemen, but the way that you got to be able to use your hands and keep guys off the linebackers, and you got to play buddy in the sense of, hey, make the lineman right, and you guys just go. You got a gap, but if you see he's getting a little bit reached or something, man, use your doggone speed and go fill that doggone.
Go fill it. Go fill it.
Yes, and that's what I'm feeling good about that, because that is what they're talking about on defense too, reacting, playing really fast to the run. As you say, hey, okay, maybe they were a little bit slow in the spring, or not tackling as well, but it's not going to be like that, because they're going to be triggering, they're going to be moving, there's going to be line stunts, they're going to go left or right or twist. Well, I think we already saw more twist. I think maybe you charted it a little bit better than I did, but the amount of twist that we were running up front seemed more than we saw, throughout the year, just because we're just playing straight up, and it was too easy for guards and tackles
to pass off.
Yes,
you get what I'm saying?
Too easy. Yes.
And I saw a lot of 6-2 stunts. I saw a lot of crash with the edge crossing into the 1. Like, I saw a lot of those, and I mean, it wasn't hard to like decipher, because that's all you saw. You didn't see. I think I seen maybe 5 or 6 plays where the one of the guys from the second level, one of the linebackers or the Husky or the Rover, got involved in a blitz. They sent a couple short corner blitzes. But I didn't see too many to where it stood out or the play got blown dead or something. But those stunts, I'm telling you, with and this kind of blends with the linebackers. You asked about Justin Jefferson. When you talking about going 10, 11 deep with your defensive line rotation, which I feel so strongly about this, talking with Coach Roach and Kane Womack, I believe this will be the deepest we've seen the defensive line use. You're talking about guys averaging 20 to 25, 30 reps a game, maybe less than that. You got a guy like Jaheim Otis playing 17 to 21 fresh snaps a game. I mean, Tim Keenan, 21 to 25 fresh snaps a game, and the guys behind him
too.
That's what I'm saying. That's a lot to deal with when you feel comfortable rotating those big bodies, knowing you got 3 more sets of those behind them. And you're going to see a lot of 2 true D fronts, right? Two-man D front. So a lot of double tackles, a lot of big ends coming in, sliding inside, and then you got your bandit and your wolf. You're probably going to see more edge contained guys be pushed out there. Might see Keon Keeley, who just got bumped the D-line, get a little more bandit action this year. So I like the versatility that this scheme allows our athletic big guys, especially on the defensive side, to be able to, like you said, go and create that space. So you got athletic linebackers who are, bigger than what you're used to having, but can create, can eat up space. So I think the scheme works out for us. I watched South Alabama film 3 or 4 times this offseason. And one game that stood out to me was South Alabama versus Troy. The way Troy tries to spread the ball out, it shows you how Kane Womack attacks, trying to get rid of space. And he does not create space to get rid of space. He walks his DBs down, walks his safety, his one high safety, puts him on the hash, and he forces that safety to really play discipline on the hash. And these underneath guys, they have to match and pass off.
You're just making me think about the scheme of what they're doing is they're going to be forcing people to run the ball where they want them to run the ball. That's what I think. So even you call it 4-2-5 or whatever you want to call it, right? But the principles are kind of, some of the stuff he does is like it's a 3-3, just
3-4 nickel.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I can't unsee 3-4 nickel out of this. The personnel and everything to me is just 3-4 nickel.
Yes. Yeah, so which is, we're saying the same thing for those listening, right? Because that allows you to do so much up front and confuse those linemen. Almost like what Michigan was doing to our line there for a little bit. Make so much movement that it makes people have to react. The running backs got to take quick jump cuts. Quarterback might not know exactly where the ball is. It looks like they're bringing pressure, but you're really not. So I think overall it's going to fit. everybody, and I think that's going to make everybody better. So when you can tell someone, hey, you're only going to have to play 15 snaps, 20 snaps, 25 snaps,
Yep.
and you're going to be fresh the whole game, bro. That's from a secondary standpoint, you got them guys bringing the heat the whole time without even necessarily having to call blitz where you're just man to man the whole time. Man, I'm loving it.
Listen, it's crazy. I don't think, and I think that's more appealing to players coming in as true freshmen. You think about D-line recruitment and linebacker recruitment right now. There's going to be, I could see 7 linebackers rotating every game. And I'm saying three solid guys inside linebacker rotation. Justin Jefferson probably be, you playing against a more spread team. You probably see more Jefferson than you see Jeremiah Alexander. You going against a run heavy team. You see more Alexander than you see Jefferson. Or you see more Alexander, Jefferson, and Campbell than you see Lawson, with a run heavy team, because you put people in this scheme, you put people in their strengths, where their strengths work, right? Lawson is a space guy. He could dissect past the run game. He's more of a reactive guy. So on the read option, we've seen Lawson be that last line of defense and be able to make the tackle secured or force it back inside. His pursuit is great. Same with Jahad Campbell. I think out of this linebacker room, though, and we haven't even talked about the edge rushers, but out of this inside linebacker room, I think a name that we need to watch out for, and injuries happen. If there's ever an injury, knock on wood, praying that we don't have one, but Justin Okoronkwo, I hope I said his name right. Okay. That freshman, the German kid, and I hope nobody is offended when I say that, because Germany used to be standing up. Y'all got a Bama boy out here, and he is all over the field. 41, I think that's his number, right? 41?
Yep, he is.
Go watch.
6'3", 215 is what I got.
Hey, and talking with Sterling Dixon, that 215 is not accurate at all. You look at, I got to see Sterling Dixon and Isaiah Fager at the barbershop, man. And all them boys gained about 15, 20 pounds compared. Cause I was like, man, Dixon, you look bigger than 215, 220. He said, I'm like 235. I'm like, what? These the freshmen.
He was eating all that Venus schnitzel, that good meat over there.
Right, man. They
got him on them ribs and steak down there.
Them goat ribs, not even the beef ribs. They got the goat ribs, man. They got the lamb. I was like, man. But yeah. Listen, I love to eat. Everybody always talk about me. You get to talk about food. We get,
but Chandler here talking about food. They got me wanting to eat this mac and cheese they keep talking about over here for somebody's birthday party.
Do not get caught up in the AAA chat. These jokers we will be talking about a play, and in the middle of a play, somebody say get a piece of the pie, and they gonna start talking about the pie, and it's gonna go off. So you gonna have to excuse my AAA fam. But
man, I'm liking them though. I'm giving a shout out too. You giving a lot of shout outs, and that's awesome that you do that. Yeah, man, I'm giving a shout out to Goof too, because he tripping over here in the chat, man. He doing his thing, but man, he got me. I love it, man.
I love it, man.
Anyway,
but yeah, Justin. I'm telling you, that kid, him and Caden Jones. Caden Jones probably is a little bit behind, but Sterling Dixon, Justin those two guys. They're the future as far as the transition guys that you're going to see at that linebacker room, being able to be hybrid. And Justin will probably, if I had to pick somebody this year, and that's only because Noah Carter didn't show up in spring. If Noah Carter had been there in spring, I would see him possibly pushing one of those guys. But Justin is a name to look out for. Anybody that stood out to you kind of like out of the blue, no matter what level on the defense side, just kind of like caught you by surprise.
I ain't gonna say nobody caught me by surprise. I think and I'm saying that only because I felt like we were gonna be collectively better.
Yeah.
than we were. Full disclosure, right? I am a secondary guy, and a lot of people be thinking I'm being a hater because of being critical of what the secondary has been, even though it hasn't been bad. It just hasn't been as good as I thought it could be. And so it was so refreshing to me and to see them moving guys around. I don't get to see practice and all the film that you're getting to see. You do like that. So when I came down there, man, I wanted to see Xavier. I wanted to see how that was. I wanted to see how my fellow number 13 played.
Yeah,
make sure he was going to be good. And he He looked good to me. So
Question, not to cut you off, but Malachi,
yeah,
I'm gonna give my personal fee. I don't want Malachi free. I want Malachi back in the box. Husky,
be in the box.
Yeah, he needs to be Rover. That Rover position, basically the star. I feel like in this personnel, this scheme, this version of how Kane Womack is going to call the defense, you want a guy that can really get up there and be a third linebacker that can cover. And Malachi Moore fits the mold to the T. You see how he played the short pass game, a lot of behind the line of scrimmage, swing passes and everything. He just dissected so cleanly. And his IQ there in the box is, his blitz timing, everything fits. My question is, where does he best fit? You already said, and outside of what I already said, why does that help the defense as far as being able to rotate other guys there too?
Well, I'm gonna give you my first time being a little bit opposite of you, and why I think he's going to be good at free safety, and because we're not talking about this part of it.
Right.
You said it. You just talked about his IQ and his smartness and all that. You need to have a quarterback on defense.
Okay.
That is the dude, and you need him in the middle of the field to tell everybody where to go and how to line up, right? So I know that was moved to safety to the middle of the field specifically for those reasons, because you need to be able to have someone that can communicate and make sure with all the motions that you see and shifts and stuff, he can be that voice. He's the captain, one of the captains. He can be able to talk about that and make you can't put enough money on how important that is to make sure there's no bust in the secondary. All of our big plays last year didn't really come because we, didn't have the right call or something. It was someone messed up something somewhere, matched up wrong. And I think I just want to say, but then I'll let you get in. He can get everybody lined up, and he can bring that physical presence. He has enough ball skills to be able to do stuff. You can then move him around where he can cover the slot. He can drop down. You can move people around where you're shifting safety in the motion, and he can drop down into a slot and basically end up where you're talking about that, where he needs to be. So they can scheme that up. Anyway, I like the dude. I just hope he stays healthy, gets rid of the nagging injuries, things of that nature, and I think he's going to have a great year.
And that's what I was going to allude to. I think bringing guys like King Mack in, you look at his versatility, you kind of set yourself up to have three guys with the experience with the same type of skill set. King Mack fits the mold of Malachi. I think he's more comfortable playing that Rover position, which kind of puts Sab at that Husky, right there in the box where he's more comfortable at. And like you said, when I think about it on that level, when they get into those shifts, you don't have to exchange personnel as much because you got three guys who are comfortable with all three safety spots in this scheme. So I think it fits. My thing is, I just feel like he's just way more comfortable in the box, man. I mean, just even when he got his opportunities to shift down and get inside and be on the run support close to the line of scrimmage, he looks like.
What's the guy's name that came from Wake Forest? I'm just drawing a blank.
Deshaun Jones.
Okay.
And then you got King Mack that came from Penn State.
All right.
That's the one. I'm telling you, you put him in. I think they add him to see if he can be the safety that solidifies Malachi at the top, and that way you got a rotation with Red Morgan. You're not putting that much pressure on this freshman. Great as he performed in the spring, you don't want to throw him out there to the wolves like that. Not this first. You get what I'm saying? Because they're gonna throw. They're gonna attack this scheme. We're creating space to see how and to see how guys react. First of all, but secondly, the type of pressures Kane Womack is going to dial up, man. It leaves a lot of space open, and a nice quarterback like Quinn Ewers, who was taught to get that ball out quick, will eat that stuff up. Glad we don't have to see him early on in the season, but we will see a solid quarterback in Carson Beck. I just think schematically we overtake that game. In my personal opinion, they play right into what our defense needs. So
yeah, man. We're not going to lose as many games as people think. You look at the schedule, all of them are winnable. I think you drop one or two, maybe. maybe, just depending on how we start out and what it really looks like. I know you're going to
Before,
be asking for some bold predictions a little bit later, but
look,
I
before
went
we
on out
jump
there
into
with a little tease.
that, look, before we jump into that, hold on. I got to do this because these my babies. Hold on. I'm going to get them this. What y'all doing? I'm working. Daddy working. Look, they on the phone playing
There
around.
you
They got
go.
their cell phone. They
Yeah.
look.
Yeah.
Say
Hey.
roll tide, Mark. Say roll tide, y'all.
Roll
That's
Tide.
my niece. That's my daughter and my son. I'm gonna call y'all back. I love y'all. Bye. Listen, that's
Yeah.
what we do on Coach Smook Network. You know, we this a family network.
It's
So
family work. I
you know what I'm
understand
saying.
that. I
But
understand
let's jump to the offense side, and I think we started the show off really kind of giving. I don't expect anything less than top 3, top 5 type performance statistically. And that's even with if Miro just doesn't roll over to the season for Miro. I'm a firm believer that it will, but for the doubters, I feel like 3 deep right now at quarterback, this offense is going to be electric. Miro gives us the best opportunity and the best possibility for it to be its max, to reach its peak this season. And I mean, like, averaging 44, 47 points. Like, this team can really, because of the front end of the schedule is favorable. It sets up for us to have a couple 50-plus games. Schematically, though, let's dive into it just a little bit. You talked about the flood concepts. You talked about the way that they were running the mesh, the extended mesh, the quick mesh. What's one thing that you're excited to see coming into this season when it just comes to the overall schematics of this offense?
Oh, well, the growth of the receiver. So I did have the opportunity to have some conversation with some people inside the university about how much better we can be at wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Not talking about talent, but how to actually how to get on the same page with the quarterback, how to get, so you're not just running just to get open, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Really getting on the same page. That is going to be the difference with the way that they're running this offense. There's a lot of quick throws. RPOs are coming. The meshes, our run game is going to be a little bit different. But I am super excited to see how they progress and what kind of explosive plays we end up making in the passing game. The run game is going to be solid. I think we're going to use the pass maybe a little bit more to set up some of those runs. I don't know. Maybe you have seen something different there. I just think that that's what's going to happen. So even though you might not have the same big names that we've had in the past few years, this is going to be a great year for a Kendrick
Law and Kobe Prentice.
And Kobe Prentice. These are going to be guys that are going to have an opportunity to do something really, really big, being the second target or third target. And the way they're going to use Kendrick running the ball on these jet sweeps, they've already showed that.
Yes.
And just getting them out in space and letting them use his speed and hand it to them or not, or just get them over there matched up somewhere. I think it's going to be huge.
Yeah.
And that's what creates the issues. And I know I keep saying the same thing, but it makes me exciting, Coach, because you see that type of stuff, and then it backtrack into these 2, 3, 4 running backs that we're going to be.
I was just about to say that's the group I'm excited about, and I'm a wide receiver. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. I look at our wide receiver group. I look at that group, and I'm not excited like everybody else because we just so deep. Like I'm not even going to worry. Like I'm just like, okay, that's them, right? They gonna do their thing. We just got to get a quarterback that's gonna get it out to him. Simple as that, right? Milrose is very confident. You see him. You've seen his pass. You've seen the confidence in his dropbacks. You've seen the confidence in his reads. Even when he had pressure, it was like, yeah, I know I'm in a black jersey, but I got to practice standing in here, know. Right. And it was multiple times where a left tackle getting beat, and he just trying to stepping up, and you could see him being taught these things are becoming muscle memory. But that running back room, Uncle G, when I say, I'm telling you, we will be. Kevin Riley is on campus now. Do not be surprised if they allow that young man 3 games this year where he could just get 10, 11 carries, and we get kind of a glimpse of what we are looking forward into the future as Jam Miller probably exits for the draft after this season. Justice Haynes, we know what we're getting with him. I mean, still pissed that he didn't get the ball 15 more times in the second half against Michigan. Like we could have just kept running that man.
Kept running the ball. Don't make me go back there too, man. Just run the ball. Why are we changing up right now for, man? Come on.
Dude, 3 carries for 27 yards. That was, and then you give it to him 3 more times in bad situations. 6 carries. He ended up with 6 carries for 38 yards or something like that, 43 yards, and the highest average per carry. And there, we only gave it to him 6 times. Oh Lord! But yeah, you're right. Let's not go there. But
don't slip on Daniel Hill either, too. Now
that's what I was just about to say.
Man.
His hands out of the backfield. I think that's what's going to surprise a lot of people.
Yeah,
I was at a practice. Right. This was the week going into the second close scrimmage. I'm at the practice. California Power 7-on-7 team with all their 5 stars. They're doing a little team visit, recruit unofficial, and there's a play. They're doing team Skelly. And Daniel Hill, they fake the handoff. His boot left, but Daniel Hill rolls out right, and Miro dumps it off to him, and it goes like it's over the linebacker, over the defensive lineman, over the linebacker, like in between them. And Daniel Hill pulls it in with like this nice reach across the body, one-handed grab. Like just snags it in from across his body though. Like the ball is coming from this direction, and he reaches across this way across his body to grab it. And I mean, they in shells, but that's athleticism for a big guy like that to have soft hands like that. I mean, I'm right there with you. And Richard Young.
Oh yeah, man, come on, bro. I mean, we deep, bro. We deep. People, I don't know what they thought was going to happen, but. Can I just go ahead and say shout out to the board again just for handling the recruiting trail, because I know we thought so many people were going to be gone. First of all, it didn't really happen that way after the spring game. A lot of people didn't depart, and he went out on that recruiting trail and secured a lot of these people or brought them back when they thought they might have been gone. So that's tremendous on what they were able to do. And so to have this recruiting class, the transfers that came in, you got these running backs that are still coming in, man. I'm Daniel Hill, man. I called him Debo, man, when I was watching this film, because he's thick, and he can line up and wide receiver. Man, golly, bro, man, he can be in the backfield, go out the slot somewhere, like you said, catching the ball. It's the
H back when you pull him in motion and you think you about to run that zone off, zone right or off tackle right, and he chips and slips out to the flats. Like what corner, what safety is trying to run up and tackle that 230-pound? You get what I'm saying? Like that's a true freshman at that.
This game is about matchups or creating unfavorable matchups, and when you have people like this that have multiple skill sets, and when the other team is looking at them come on the field, they go, "Oh, that's a running back." But then he ain't there. He's lined up out wide, outside of the tight end or something. You got to figure it out. Put a linebacker on him, or
do I run a safety out there?
Yeah, what am I going to do? And then next time maybe he's in the slot, or now he's in the backfield. Shoot, this is the first time I really saw split backs ran it, in there, and you got these backs. Now they motion out, and it creates problems for the defense when you got guys like this in the backfield.
I think the last time we've had a 3 running back set without putting 3 running backs on the field was when Jalen Hurts was here. And you get what I'm saying? Like that's what we have with Milroe, Jam, Justice, Milroe, Richard Young, and Hill. Milroe, Richard Young, and Justice. Milroe, Jam, and Rich. Like you got so many combinations of backs. And that's why I kind of led up to that. We kind of touched on the offensive line. Don't really want to go there. I think we're going to figure that out with Caden Proctor being back. He earned his way back on the field. That offensive line, I believe we're going to have one of the best offensive lines in the league, in the nation. With Caden Proctor coming along and getting caught up with everything. Wilkin Formby is going to be the young guy on that line, more than prepared at right tackle. To be honest, probably the most consistent performer throughout the whole spring. But I was leading up to this. I honestly believe as great of a pass offense and a pass scheme that Kalen DeBoer and Nick Sheridan are going to scheme up, I think because of the quarterback that we're dealing with, and the type of momentum he needs in order to get settled into a game, I think the run game is going to lead this offense. And I think not in a sense where we're going to force the run game. It's going to be such an explosive part of our offense that people are going to force us to pass. And because of that, the quick pass game is what's going to build into the 4 or 5 big plays you're going to see per game, all based off of how explosive the run game is going to be. What do you think this offense is going to lean on, Uncle G?
Man, first, you just hit on something when you're talking about this run game, and I think where people are going to get surprised at how well we run the ball is because it's the matchup situation. He's going to pull tackles by themselves. He's going to pull a center because they're just looking for shades and stuff, and he's teaching these guys that, hey, okay, this is a trap, and maybe the guard is supposed to do it, but if they're, in a 3 and he's outside of the guard, center, you go ahead and make your call and you go wrap around or whatnot. Right. And that makes it hard. So I'm really interested. What I want to see is Elijah Pritchett, actually, to see how he progresses another year after this. I think he's just going to be a dog and create some havoc up there.
He's got to stick it out. It's the mental for him. And I know the young man personally. Okay. It's the mental for him, and that is it. I mean, the size, the athleticism, it's just the technique for me. And I'm like, young man, you come from a program. Carver High School in Columbus, Georgia is not a pushover. That's not a football team. That's a program. They get the top, I'm talking about top area coaches that can literally either play at a high level and have produced college level talent. That's what Carver gets at as their staff, right? And I just don't understand why it's not turning over for him, because he had an opportunity to seize that left tackle position. He could have scared Caden Proctor away if he would have been more consistent. Right. You get what I'm saying? Right. But I'm like you. Hopefully he sticks around and that mental clicks for him, because next year is going to be opportunity across that offensive line with Parker. Not Parker, but Roberts leaving. You got Booker going to be out of there. I think Vanderham is a red shirt sophomore, so basically he's a junior, maybe eligible to get up. He might be using Bama as a stock piece, because I don't see where he fits right now with what's in front of him. So I don't know, man. I just feel like Pritchett, he's not getting a grip on it like he should. Naquil Bertrand, I think, still has some development to do. I saw him make some good plays, but more worse than good, Caden Proctor, I feel like, is going to have that momentum. Another 2 years of starting. He's definitely going to be a top 10,
you
top
still
15.
Got him. You still got Booker, man. I mean, I think the boy, I don't know that he's had a line like this anywhere that he's been. Right. Most of the guys have been smaller and faster. We're smaller in Division I football, right? 285 or something like that. Man, you got guys that are just bigger and faster. And so I know he's sitting here going, I can do so much with these guys, not just the pass game, but now I can have an elaborate run game without scheming people, creating gaps. Yeah. Right? Even if you watch some of his old stuff when he's putting these double tight end sets, creating extra gaps, sending people in motion to make a wing back over there, slot trips, or, wet tight ends, and you're just forcing people to try to have to move to cover up this extra gap. Then you jet sweeping back the other way with a puller going the other way, and Jalen Milroe still got the ball going the other way.
Forcing the misalignment, forcing the look, and forcing guys to account for extra space that's not designed within the scheme. You move a guy 3 yards to the right, you got him out of position. I don't care what you do after that. You get him to, after the snap, to be 3 yards to the right of where he needs to be, where you're really trying to attack. You got him. You done created the leverage. You done gained the leverage advantage. You done had the alignment advantage. Everything is based off of just shifts and pre-snap motion. I know you got to go. I ain't gonna hold you up too much longer.
Man, I'm having a good time, man. Roll with it, man.
Look. I'm glad, man. Look. Shout out to my guy Frederick for becoming a member. He became a member before we even clicked the stream off tonight. So shout out to him for becoming a member of the AAA fam. Shout out to my guy Zachary Wilges with the $4.99 super chat. He says George Teague, Roll Tide, and it's great to hear football talk from Alabama Great Yeah, my boy Zach. Hey, Uncle G, you want to hear some good singing on a morning show? My boy Zach, within the first 35 minutes of my morning show, he gives us a song every day, and it usually gets the day going, man. So if you got time tomorrow, put us in your headphones. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be live 8 Central Standard Time, and listen to Zach's song. He gonna have one ready for you. I'm pretty sure he gonna have one ready for you.
All right.
And shout out to my mother. She's in here with the $10 super chat. Good evening, AAA family. Looking forward to seeing y'all August 31st. August 31st is my father's birthday. They will be going to the home opening of the 2024 season, the new DeBoer era. They're going to be at the first game. She already got his tickets. They're going to be there celebrating. We're all going to be there celebrating for his I'm 34. 59th. My dad will be 59.
All right.
August 31st. Right. And don't look a day over 35. So shouts out to my mom. Appreciate that super chat. Mom, your boy in here. George Teague, look, she
in the house, baby.
I don't know if you remember, Uncle G. She came to when we was on the Bama Standard side together on that panel. She came through and she was like, "I can't believe." She was like, "My baby done made it." She was in that comment. My baby done made it. She talking to George. He talking to George Teague. I was like, "Yeah, Mom, I'm up here now." Yeah. But even our picture, man, and this kind of off topic from the roster and everything. Even just the love you showed me and Coach Sean, man, it was huge. Like a lot of people, I know a lot of people in this chat who know who you are. They saw that picture and they was like, "Man, Coach Smook this," but I'm like, man, like I don't feel like I'm talking to a celebrity when I'm talking to Uncle G. I call him Uncle G. Like since I met him, I've been calling him Uncle G. And you encouraged me when I was going through my transition and everything. So I appreciate you for that. But just to come on and talk football and to know that like I'm not talking crazy, you know, like with a lot of stuff. That's when I really got my confidence to really push in this industry. So I appreciate you that for real. I really appreciate you for that.
Well, thank you, man. I do appreciate it. And you guys know, and hopefully you guys know in the chat too, man. I love interacting with people. I love doing this type of stuff. I can talk football all night. My wife's over there and she knows. I'm like, I'm going to a podcast night with Smook. You know, okay, what time we gonna eat? You know, that kind of thing. So I had my collard greens and my mac and cheese.
Yeah,
fish, man.
Now you're doing too much. Stop. Because I ain't ate my food yet.
I like that Crimson Blood. What are the 13, baby?
Yes sir. Listen, I got something in the background we're gonna do since you know, because and before we start winding down, Unc, I'm gonna do this. Overall assessment of the season. I just want you to give me your outlook. The schedule, you know, we open up West Kentucky, USF, Wisconsin, Georgia is the one that everybody thinks is going to be the one. But I'm gonna tell you right now, Tennessee is the one. Huh?
Yeah. So my ifs are between Tennessee and LSU. You know, so I think we drop maybe one of those
two.
No, one of those two.
I look at Kalen DeBoer as a coach. This guy knows how to win. He's been doing it everywhere he's went. Like you telling me you giving him the keys to probably the best built vehicle on the lot, and you don't think this man who's been driving hoopties and nice Lexuses and Impalas, you don't think he gonna know how to get in there? And after he been building and patching these cars up to make them ride like Lamborghinis, you don't think he gonna know how to handle that?
But he don't even have to be on the Autobahn like some other people because of the new 12-team playoff system. So he's got a little extra bone just in case he drops one that you can get in with the loss, or maybe two, right? And by that time, we're gonna be so well oiled up, you know, and you get this momentum early like that. And maybe I don't know because I think we go to Georgia, right? I think we play in Georgia.
No, they come to us. They come to T-Town.
Yeah, no, they come. That's the first one.
Hey, and while we talking about it, I'm doing a tailgate. I'm hosting a tailgate for the community. And it would be crazy for you to pull up because, you know, college game day, everybody going to be there. But it would be crazy awesome if we can get George T, because I'm doing a few lives during the day. I'm going to do a morning one before, you know, pregame. Then we're going to do a live game watch party where we're going to have the game up on the projector screen, all this good stuff. But it's going to be a tailgate. It will be awesome to either have Coach Teague on the morning, the pregame show, or the post game show. I'm pretty sure pregame is probably better for you, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Cause I don't know. You gonna be in town for? You gonna be in T-town for that Georgia game?
I have not put my whole travel schedule together yet because see, as I just told y'all, right? So I have to, because I do the Sunday morning shows here for the Dallas Cowboys. I really have to plan appropriately on when I can get back, what kind of flights and things I can get back afterwards. So I have not checked to see what time that game is, or if they've even said what time it is. So I can't. You know, I love to be there with you and kick it and meet all the folks. Seems like you got some great followers and things of that nature, and I know you appreciate it. But I don't. Consuela and I have not put our schedule together yet on where we're gonna be.
I'm supposed to be coming to Dallas for the SEC Media Day in July. Yeah, at the Omni. So I'm gonna be blowing you up.
What's that date?
I want to say the 20. Let me see. I'm gonna put my email up. Yeah. And while I do that, Uncle G, let the people know where they can find all your content and everything, so we can make sure we getting. Cause I always tune into T's takes. I even when I'm like working or editing, I always get in there and I love to watch film with you and Junior. Like I really do, man. That's something that I aspire to do that with my sons, man. My oldest son, Isaiah, probably been identifying the basic coverages since he was like 5-6 years old. Like for real, he would sit there. Out of all my kids, man, he was the one that was glued to the TV all day. College football on Saturdays since he was 3, just glued to the TV. And once I started teaching him the small things, he would come and watch my intramural flag games and be like, "Dad, you had press over there." And I'm like, "Boy, I seen it. My receiver didn't open up. You know, he didn't take the outside release. They gave him outside release. He didn't take it. Well, you can throw the slant." I'm like, nah, no, I'm not doing that. This ain't 11 on, and that's my son. So to see you and your son doing that, man, that's crazy. And then he's coaching too, right?
He is coaching. So JT, my son, James is his real name. He's been coaching for about 11 years, believe it or not.
Yeah.
He is current defensive coordinator at our school now. And we're fortunate enough to be able to do the podcast together. And I saw someone saying that they subscribe to our channel. Y'all check it out. Teague's Take on YouTube. We do air live and we show a lot of film. That's kind of our niche, and we like to talk about plays, whether it's good or bad, or really just try to educate people on what really was happening, because it's hard to do when you're not looking at it. Like me and Smook can sit here and talk about it, but when I can actually show you what that quad looks like with 5 receivers on one side, you're going, what? I did not see that. And so we love to do that on Wednesday nights. It's kind of off season for us right now, so we're breaking down some film and talking. But during the season, every week, Smook, we're going to change it up a little bit this time. We're going to do post game Alabama, but this year we never did pregame or the next game review. Yeah. We're going to add that in there with the film of whoever we're playing to, and talk about some of their strengths and weaknesses, tendencies, things that we got to do. So more of like a real pregame show in the middle of the week, just giving our thoughts on that. You can hit me up on Twitter. I do interact with people all the time.
You be acting up on Twitter too, y'all. Don't think I be the only one acting up. You be acting up too.
At Teague Football, Instagram at Teague Football. I am on Facebook. You can find me there on George Teague, but I interact most with IG and on Twitter, but I do post on Facebook. So, man, y'all come on in and get part of the be a Teagster. Come on and join in this thing. What I love the most about Coach Smook, I have to say this. He didn't ask me to say this. I'm just saying because I like listening to other people's content when they talk into stuff, because he does something that I don't necessarily do. He's closer to it than I am, being able to watch the practices and have some insight and knowing full rosters and that stuff. Man, that is awesome. You can't get that from a lot of people, right? And so what me and JT try to bring is not necessarily all the stuff that he has. It's really now, like we talked about this stuff and what the run game looks like, we want to bring and show you what that actually looks like, so it's a good mesh is all I'm trying to say on what Coach Smook and I kind of talk about. And that's why I love chatting with this dude. It was great seeing you too, brother, at the game. I'm glad we just, just fate just kind of happens that way.
Family, man.
Right
That's
there
what I love.
on the sidewalk, just
Yep.
coming and just going. And we're able to just catch up for a minute. So I'm glad that we're able to connect like this.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for supporting his show, man. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, that like, man, do those things. And tell other people about this show because he's doing a tremendous job. And I'm a fan, and I'm wishing you continued success with everything that you're doing as well. And there's anything I can ever do, but I'm calling you too, asking you, and we're always trying to collaborate, trying to figure out how do we get better at this. And so we're going to be going in our 5th year. Coming
That's
up
what I was about to
soon.
say, man. Y'all really been at it, and I've always had an admiration of how you guys, you've never been the ones to chase the numbers. You've always stayed authentic, and that's what I'm telling you, so much of what I watched from afar, I really just brought that same type of vibe. I know I bring a different type of energy, a different type of animation to the industry, but the consistency is what I've learned. And the delivery, is consistent every time I come over to Teague's Take. And you guys are you guys. And that's what I love. I love when people stick to their guns and become them. And you know me, it ain't never been about numbers for me. It's always been about real. And I rock with real. And you, JT, y'all are real, man. And I can't wait to continue. Like I told my community, this is a thing where Coach Smook Network is a network. We believe in networking. Not everybody is meant for me. And I feel like I don't have the best film analysis. When I look at film, I don't know how to break it down into terms where the audience can understand it all the time. I've only been in so many systems in my young life as a player and a coach, but you got somebody like yourself and somebody like your son who's actively coaching. I haven't coached in 2022. So 2021 was the last time I was coaching actively. And the game has changed since then. It's continuing to evolve. So I like to be able to stay in tune and in touch and have guidance from guys like yourself and other former players too that come through. So it's awesome, and I appreciate the kind words for real. It's nothing but motivation. And I'm just telling you, man, the future looks very bright for this change of how Alabama content is being pushed out there. And you and what you and JT are doing, y'all have a head start, man. I'm telling you, it's going to be more people going to start mimicking what you guys do as you guys continue to do it. And that's a good thing to me. We're going
to have that fly film. We're going to have that fly film, though, boy. Get the end zone copy, too. You can see
that's what I'm saying.
Like.
Nobody's doing it like y'all, man. Nobody's doing it.
Yeah. So I want to give one last little plug, if you don't mind, because I would like to see this. And on June the 12th on Teague's Take, if y'all really like football, y'all need to be, and we're not even going to show film on this. And after I did all that film talk, we're not really doing it because I got a guy by the name of Mario Morris coming on our show. Who's Mario Morris? I played with him. He was on the national championship team with me, but he works for the NCAA. He is the CFO, the one that handles all the money of the NCAA. He's a senior director for them, and he's going to come on and talk to us about all this NIL crap, these lawsuits, and give us the scoop on what the hell is really going on. Sorry about my language or whatever.
No, you good. You good over here. We real.
I am so excited about that because I was calling because there's so much stuff is going on. I was like, man, I wonder if he can actually come on, and talk to the people about this because it's confusing, right? You got lawsuits, people suing people, and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, man, what is really happening? So I reached out to him and said, man, will they allow you to come on over there? He's like, man, I got you, man. Come on. I'll give you what I can give you and this kind of stuff. So June 12th, man, that's going to be one that I think everybody's going to want to hear because we're going to dive into what all this stuff is. And you can hear it straight from the mouth of the NCAA, not just us pundits out here just, saying what we think. I got someone coming on that's going to tell us all about it. So
I need that type of juice because that's the talk of the town outside of being a fan. Is college football really going to die because of NIL? I don't think so. I think it'll be broken before it's fixed, right? Kind of like what Josh Pace said. But I don't think it's going to die. I think at the end of the day, and we could talk about it later, but I'm definitely going to tune in. We're going to have to find some way You gotta let me work on a promo video or something for that one because that's huge. That would be
I'm down with that. Whatever I need to do, man.
For real.
You gonna make me look good, man. Make me look good, boss.
Listen, you remember the first video I did of you when you broke you? Yeah, I remember that. I think that's what got me got in his good grace. He was like, "Who made that?" I was like, "Me." You know, it was fire. I actually looked at that the other day when I thought to call you to see if you was gonna be available tonight. But Uncle G, I appreciate you for gracing your the network with your presence, man. I know the channel, the supporters, all the viewers appreciate it. And like you said earlier, guys, if you haven't already, go ahead and make sure you subscribe to George Teague's, Uncle George Teague's YouTube channel is Teague's Take, at Teague's Take. His last name, Teague's Take. Go subscribe. And even on their channel, you can see all of their socials. Teague is Teague Football, right?
Teague Football, yes, sir.
On Twitter. I'm telling you, active on Twitter. That's where you're going to see a lot of the announcements, kind of like I use mine. So if you follow me, you'll see me sharing Uncle G's tweets a lot, especially when he go get his fresh cuts. You know, I be trying to keep up. I gotta keep that. Look, I gotta get to a barber this weekend, man. It's been rough the last 2.5, 3 weeks, but I gotta get to a barber this weekend. But Uncle G, I appreciate you. And anything else before I let you off, Unc?
No, man. I just want to say thank you, man. Appreciate everybody for being great sports, and hopefully we'll be able to do this again, man.
Oh, always. Look, anytime you ready to come on, anytime you got time to come on, because we do the coaches night, man. Friday night is usually like where we get a panel of multiple guys. I know this weekend I got Coach Sean coming back on. I plan on having him on. Ty Hayes, you know, around the table sports, Ty Hayes.
Yes, sir.
He'll be on. I got a few more. I think I want to do a panel of 6. We're gonna do kind of like a two-sided debate type thing. I like to look at different personalities and see how we can get the buzz going. Because Friday nights we bring the cups, right? And we don't disclose the contents of the cups. The G14 classified. We do not disclose. We do not disclose the contents. Everybody that pulls up needs to bring a cup. We don't care if it's water. We don't care if it's listen. It's 1921. Go look it up. 1921. That's all I'm saying. Go look it up. And it's one for the cabinet. I'll tell you that right now. Shout out to Dwight with the $5 super chat. He says George Teague and Fred Smook, Mississippi State, got me into playing corner. Wore 13 in middle school and 2 in high school. That's what's up.
Yes, sir. Yes,
That's
sir.
what's up. I was 13 1 year when I was playing Army intramural sports. We played flag football in with our units or whatever. But at Texas, at Fort Hood, Texas, it was serious. We actually had my unit team. We got in a civilian league. That's how serious my sergeant major was. He had us playing games during the week. We showing up for PT doing practice 6 o'clock in the morning for our flag football games later that evening. But I wore 13 when they had me playing corner and free safety. The first few games I was out there, then they moved me to QB, and that's all she wrote. Got 3.
You're a good man. You're a good man though. Wearing that 13, I appreciate it. They ran in my family though, so those are my brothers. And
I ain't had the speed. I ain't gonna lie. I just was rangy. I ain't had that speed. I never had that quick twitchy speed. I'm 6'3.5", like at that time 175, 180. So I just was rangy, man, long and rangy. I was a basketball player playing free safety and quarterbacks.
All right, man. Well, I look forward to seeing y'all soon, man. And someone asked 8:15 on the 12th, 8:15 p.m. on the
8:15.
Well, yes, sir. Yes, sir. So
yes, sir. Like I said, appreciate you, and we're gonna let you off, man. I'm gonna open the phone lines up, get the people talking about some of our takes and everything, and definitely be looking out for some of these clips. We got a lot of good clips. I know I'm gonna be able to post, so be looking out for them. I actually be able to tag you in them, send them to you in your inbox and everything. So I know that'll help the channel grow. I'm telling you right now, shorts is the way to go. Them shorts is the way to go. So I'll be doing a few and just send them over to you. Use them however you want.
Yes, sir. Let's do it, man. Thank you, man. I'll see you guys soon.
Already. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, y'all. Oh man, that was crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all want to talk about some moments, some moments in history? For me, that's a big one right there. not being on a panel with him, but having him come to Coach Smook Network, one of the GOATs of Alabama football, of football in general, one of the GOATs, one of the well-known names amongst football. When you talk about football in the United States of America, he played for America's team, y'all. Listen, I don't think y'all know who. For y'all folks that don't know who George Teague is, I can show y'all 2 clips right now. I'm gonna show y'all 2 clips right now. And if you're a real Bama fan, if you what am I? I'm 34. So if you're 38 or older, you should be able to remember this. Let me see. Can I get it up? Let me get it up. And I ain't gonna play no sound. Hopefully we don't get no copyright. We ain't gonna get no copyright. Mm-hmm. Look at this. Look at this. Miami thought he had one. Who that 13 chasing him down though? Give me that. Give me that. That's Uncle G right there, y'all. He was tired. And then they called that mother back. Kind of messes that. That you talking about, they called it back though. They had to go back in and get the stop on defense anyways. And then and y'all know this one. Y'all know this one. Let me see. Y'all know this one. Y'all know this one. This one the funny one. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. This the funny one. Let's watch this one. And hopefully Fox though. You think Fox gonna copyright us? There it is. Look. Here you go right here. T.O. was dogging them boys, man. Can't even lie. T.O. was on one that game. They couldn't do nothing with him. Oh, man. Look who that is. 31. What's up? Look. And he was about to get active with the other one. Hey. He was about to get active with the other one. Shout out to Uncle G, man. Always ready, 10 toes down. Standing on business. Straight Bama boy. Hey, you know it's crazy. T.O. from Bama too. So I bet they laugh when they talk about that nowadays. I bet they laugh. Listen, we got about 30 minutes left on the show, y'all. Phone line is open. You can call the phone line 334-625-1121. Go ahead and call in. Let your voice be heard. Give me some of your takes on this roster. We've kind of done it before. Tonight, highlight. All right, so we call in your name. Put me in the game, coach. Let me know who your breakout player for this year is. It don't matter which side. You only get one. And you're going to have 3 minutes to explain why this is your breakout player. 334-625-1121. It's the nighttime. I want some people calling in. We got a first phone call. I know who it is.
Call from
Zachary. Put me in the game, coach.
To accept, press 1. To send a voice.
Yo, Zach, what's good, my boy? Listen. Before we even ask how you doing, where was you this morning when the show was live?
No, like for real, I had to take care of my mental health first. You know.
Okay. Look, nothing else needs to be explained. You know how important that is to me. I'm all about keeping your mental right. All right. So you get multiple passes for that. All right. You don't even need a pass. You don't even need to have to explain that. I'm glad you're here right now. How you feeling tonight, my boy?
I'm feeling good, fired up. It was great to hear Mr. George Teague and hear his take about Alabama. Because I mean, it's an honor to get to sit down and listen football talk with an Alabama great like himself. You know, not just an Alabama great, but also an NFL great, you know, in the old days, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, this probably makes him feel old. I was a year old when the Miami play happened.
I was too.
I was two. Baby. So I was a baby.
Was you a wee baby? See, I was up doing too legit to quit. That was the dance I was doing. I had just got my little vaccination shots, and it wasn't too much longer after that game. I was doing that too legit dance to MC Hammer. So that's how I was a baby. I was a baby.
Mm-hmm.
But Zach,
Oh, yeah.
breakout player for this upcoming season, man. You gotta pick one. You can't pick one from the offense and the defense. You gotta pick one from one side of the ball. You got 3 minutes. Who your breakout player and why?
Okay. I'm gonna go with Jihad Campbell.
Okay.
Why is you seen what he was able to do last season, and I guess in a scheme that wasn't as suited for his style of play.
Mm-hmm.
And this style of defense that we're going to be running this next year is more suited to, his style of play and his physicality, and he's going to be able to get to the quarterback and lay some hits on some guys.
Hey, you already know we coming to lay that wood this year. Ain't no playing around. Ain't no pause, none of that. We coming to hit folks in the mouth this year. Zach, before I continue with you, listen, I need everybody on Twitter. Listen, we got 350 total viewers. Y'all don't believe me? I'm about to screenshot it. We got 350 total viewers watching the show. 351 total viewers watching the show right now. If you're on Twitter, come to the YouTube side. The first person that reports from Twitter on the YouTube side will win an entry for them and a guest to our tailgate party September 28th, Alabama versus Georgia. We got 2 entries that you're going to win them. You ain't no drawing. You're going to be covered. You and one of your people will be covered for the Alabama versus Georgia tailgate. That's what we're doing here. We promoting getting these numbers up on YouTube right now because my family been working. My AAA family been working with sharing it up and everything. Y'all clearly seeing the tweets. Come over to the YouTube side, check in. First one to check in, Marquita, I want you to find it and make sure you start. We'll highlight them at the end of the I was about to say end of the service, at the end of the show. Go ahead, Zach. But you said Jihad Campbell. Because you picked somebody that I was gonna pick. I'm gonna give you another chance. Pick somebody else. Pick somebody else that you. And I want you to think past Jalen Milroe, past Jeremy Bernard. You can't pick Jihad Campbell. You already picked him. Past Jaheim Otis and Tim Keenan. Fine. Give me somebody who's going to be a name to be heard in this next season.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Keon Sabb then.
Ooh-wee. Go ahead, Zach. Go ahead. You preaching right now.
And because, yes, he does have experience in this defense at playing at Michigan. But, I mean, yes, he did have playing time, but he was a rotational player. He wasn't a starter.
Right.
Him coming to Alabama is his chance to start and to show Michigan that they messed up not starting him.
So you saying he got to take it personal this year?
Yes.
I think this whole defense is going to take it personal this year. Zach, before I let you go, man, I appreciate you for giving me those 2 takes. Before I let you go, are you going to be ready to do that song I asked you about tomorrow? You going to be ready to do that?
Oh, yeah.
All right, now.
Yeah, I see you put the pressure on me with trying to bring Mr. Teague in.
Hey, Zach, I'm just saying you've been performing this long, so I feel like you're ready for it. If anybody's prepared, if anybody got the ice in their veins, my boy Zach gonna have the ice in his veins.
Oh yeah, I told my dad about it. My dad just laughed. He's like, Coach Smook's gonna do that to you. I was like, yeah, Coach Smook's gonna do that to me, I guess.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, that's okay, because you gotta have ice in your veins.
Ice in your veins, baby. AJ McCarron style. Zach, when you show up, we might put, hey, Marquita, note this now. Instead of Zach in the game tomorrow, AJ McCarron in the game because he gonna have to. Zach gonna have to be AJ McCarron. Zach, I need your full AJ McCarron tomorrow. All right.
All right.
All right, man. Anything you want to say to your family before you break out?
Just roll tide to the AAA family and have a good night, guys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Roll Tide, Zach, man. See you in the morning.
All right, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Much love to my brother, Zach. My little brother, Zach, just came in. Y'all know we missed his phone call this morning. Not normal, you know what I'm saying? But I knew he was all right. You know, he came in as soon as he seen this live link. He came in and commented on, y'all be, you know what? I ain't seen Auntie Jen in the chat tonight. I ain't seen Uncle Jay in the chat tonight. We got to do better, AAA fam. We got a 512 calling in, and I think I know who this is.
Call from
Jay Townsend.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hello?
Put me in the game, Coach. Don't be whispering. I'm ready to play.
I already know. It's funny because I was like, I ain't see Uncle Jay. I ain't seen Auntie Janet. Y'all supposed to let them know, but clearly you here. What's up, Uncle Jay?
Hey, don't give a damn about nothing but Bama.
Turn up, Uncle Jay. Go ahead.
Okay.
You got it. Go ahead.
Okay. I got 2 breakout players, but I'm going to be disciplined, I guess.
No, you get 2. I gave Zach 2. You can get 2.
Okay. I'm gonna start with Emmanuel Henderson.
Ooh.
I think Emmanuel Henderson is going to be a breakout player. Okay, he had some drops last year, but he's had a couple of years to work, on that. And we already know the speed that he has. If you don't, everybody that's listening need to go back and look at some of his film. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think he's gonna prove that he deserves some playing time this year. You know what I'm saying? He was he was a running back, but this kid averaged 200 yards a game rushing in high school. I just imagine what he can do again in the open field after catching a pass. You know what I'm saying? So that's the one. I'm an offensive guy.
Mm-hmm.
And my next one, Richard Young. Okay. Richard Young. Okay,
like
nobody talks about Richard Young. You hear about all the hype about the other running backs, but people keep overlooking Richard Young.
Mm-hmm.
Richard Young, when he came out of high school, Texas had the number 1 running back.
No.
Justin Haynes was number 1.
Cedric Bastard.
Texas was 2.
Yep.
And Richard Young was 3.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken.
That's
Am I right.
That's it right there. They listen, it was crazy because before their senior season started, Justin Haynes was number 2 back. Richard Young was number 1, and Cedric Baxter was number 3. But at the end of the season, when they signed on early signing day, and then the final rankings came out, the star ratings came out, Justice Haynes ended up jumping both Richard Young and Cedric Baxter. Cedric Baxter got a technicality because he went to 1 more camp than Richard Young. That's it. It wasn't stats. It wasn't none of that. A camp visit is what got Cedric Baxter the edge as far as being rated higher, because you look at the production, Cedric Baxter playing solid at Texas, but I guarantee you Richard Young this year, with the amount of snaps that he's going to be able to get, he will be way more effective and more explosive. I'm with you, Uncle Jay. I've been watching the film. I wasn't high on him because of his attitude early on in spring, but I think he's bought into what this offense is going to be. And I think this offense is going to be built off of the run game, which is why all of these running backs stayed put right where they were.
Exactly. I agree with you 100%. I know he was a little disappointed because he felt like he deserved playing time. But the one thing that I have to admire about him, he stuck it out. You know what I'm saying? He could have ran, but he stayed here. And I think he stayed here to prove himself. And I think he's going to prove himself this year. We're going to have, 4 backs, maybe even 5 that's going to have 400 yards or more. That's my perception.
Yeah.
Okay. That's my belief. Okay. But those are my 2, because I'm an offensive guy. So I'm telling you, these guys are going to make their presence known this year.
Right.
And I wish we could do that segment over tomorrow because I went and did my homework this morning, but you cut it off just before I got to tell you about where all the rankings, where all of our athletic department ranked.
Oh yeah, give me that, because I did say I wanted to get that to you when you text me earlier. I wanted to get that from you. Just for everybody that wasn't here before you go, before you announce it, this morning, if you wasn't part of the show this morning, we were talking about Alabama being an everything school. And Uncle Jay found some solid statistics that support everybody that believes that Alabama is an everything school. Take it away, Uncle Jay.
Okay. We ranked in the top 15. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sports. We ranked in the top 15. Okay.
That's crazy.
Okay, we're gonna start with football. Right now, we moved up some because they had us at 8. We at number 5 right now as far as football. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
At golf, we rank 11. Tennis, the women's team. Oh, okay. When I said 7, 6 out of the 7 is ranked in the top 15. We in the top 25 in all of these. Tennis, as far as women, we rank 24. Men's tennis, we rank 21. Track and field, we rank 2nd. Basketball, we rank 3rd. Okay, gymnastics, we rank 7. I looked those statistics up this morning as far as where we rank 2024, and that's what I found this morning. I wanted to share that. Talking about who rules? Bama rules.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Bama rules. I was digging while y'all were talking. I was like, I got to get this, man. You know what I'm saying?
I think I said that this morning. I was saying you got all major sports programs, and so when you talk about major sports programs, you're not talking about lacrosse, you're not talking about hockey, you're not talking about swimming. You're talking about major sports, things that produce over a certain amount of. I think the revenue was like 2.3 million or something like that they have to produce as far as TV time and everything. You don't see a lot of Alabama soccer on getting televised. You don't see a lot of Alabama. I think the hockey team just joined the ACC or something that somebody reported. You don't see that televised. You don't even see news around it. You know what I'm saying? So you talk about the major sports as what carries the sports industry: baseball, softball, basketball, football, gymnastics, tennis, golf. What's the other one out there? Volleyball. Like, these are things that Alabama is starting to attract high-end talent from the high school level, and we're sending a lot of these kids to the professional level, and it's no secret now. It's no secret now, especially with NIL. Everybody tries to base it off of the state. You can think Texas is the only rich state. Nah, Alabama, we got our university, the people, what's produced out of the University of Alabama and what goes on to be a part of a lot of major Fortune 500 companies comes from the University of Alabama. You will be surprised at the type of people we have sitting as politicians. You'll be surprised at how many overseas endeavors we have invested. They have graduated from the University of Alabama. Just everywhere. Everywhere. The athletic department is the root of it. And I'm telling you right now, Alabama is making this argument, especially with this recruiting, the way it's been recruiting. The women's basketball team is going to be lit next season. I'm gonna be front row and center. I'm gonna be one of them season ticket holders. I promise you. I will be at every women's game. Them girls, they have your boy hype.
After Mark Sears announced that he's coming back,
it's over.
Alabama has moved up to either 2 or 3 as far as basketball, and they're predicted to be the lead for winning the NCAA championship next year. They predicting that Alabama will win basketball next year. Think about if Alabama come back and win both basketball and football. I mean, it's a possibility because they starting to talk positive about Bama football now. They waking up. So, that's what I got to say, man. I was excited, man, because I knew I'd be watching this sports stuff and how they rank them. So I said, let me go and dig and see where these teams are standing, because I know we're in the top 25 in just about every major sport. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to share that with everybody to let them know.
So time out, Uncle Jay.
He's proud to be Bama. You know what I'm saying?
Uncle Jay, I'm about to jack Jordan right up. So I'm only laughing because when the announcement was made, I forget, was it one of the male basketball team players? They were it was kind of like this running joke. It was like it's funny how all of a sudden when the men's basketball team makes it to the Final Four, now everybody wants to remember that the fact that our women's wheelchair basketball team just won a national championship. And I thought about the little spoof debate that they had going on social media. And that's all I was thinking about. But that's crazy because we do have a Special Olympics or special special needs athletic department where a lot of our athletes that we produce out of the University of Alabama have found success in the Special Olympics. Like all of this stuff is not just, it doesn't happen by happenstance. Like this is a direct effect of a coaching change, an athletic director, a commissioner being on the same page and wanting to produce great value for the players. And now the next foe in doing that is NIL. How do we get how do we tame NIL? And that's what the University of Alabama, I feel like we're a step ahead right now than most programs. So great statistics, Uncle Jay. You gave me one player. Did you give me two players on both sides? You did.
Yeah, I gave you Richard Young and Emmanuel Henderson.
All right, I'm gonna make sure I clip that. I clipped the first call, Zach. I'm gonna make sure I clip yours too. I got a lot of clips I'm gonna put out for the next few days. AAA. Uncle Jay, anything you want to say before I let you off the line, man?
I don't give a damn about nothing but Bama.
Listen, they said it's an after party tonight in Discord, Uncle Jay. I think I'm gonna pull up tonight. It's Monday. I might just act up a little bit tonight. What you feeling?
Hey, look here. Y'all had me doing stuff that I don't normally do the other night.
Don't listen. We live. Oh, you ain't gotta tell everything, man. You ain't gotta tell. We had fun the other night, man. The other night was a great night.
We always have fun, man. We always have fun. I'll be looking out for y'all, man. I missed it this morning. I had some stuff going on, and then I got on here late because I was cooking for my daughter, and I did get on here in time. I say better late than never. But Anyway, I gotta say, love y'all, AAA family, and roll tide.
Roll tide, much love. Appreciate you for calling in.
All right, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Listen. I got time for one more phone call. If somebody else wants to call in, I think I seen 913 call in twice. 913. If you're still watching the show, go ahead and call in. I will answer the phone for 913 and 913 only. I don't want you to feel neglected. You just was missing it by like a split second on both times. Tonight's show was great. We got one more phone call. If 913 is still watching, hopefully it ain't no troll. And if you are a troll, please be a good one, 913. Please be a good troll. That would be so good. Like I got all these clips. Give me one more good clip. All right. It says suspected spam caller. So clearly, let's see what's up.
T.
Oh, that's Glenn.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
Yo, Roll Tide, you on the line with Coach Smook. Who is that calling again?
This is T, man. What's up, Coach Smook?
What's good, man? How you feeling, my boy?
Man, look, man, I'm doing good, man. I just want to tell you, man, I'm proud of you, man. And I actually, I used to watch Bama on YouTube or whatever, but I really was watching it for your specific segments, bro. I love the work that you're doing, bro, and what you put out, bro. So I thought I'd call, man, for the first time.
Man, appreciate you, first of all, for being the first time caller, tuning in. But secondly, man, for supporting the network as a whole, man. I've never tried to be anything that I wasn't, well, actually I did, and it didn't last long, but I enjoyed my time being at Bama Football on YouTube, made a lot of good connections. So for you to see, for you to still be following, and it definitely feels great. I don't take none of this to the head, but I really take it to heart, that people really, they put value into what I say, and that's why I try to produce authentic, whatever, if I miss a call on recruiting, if I have a bad take, I've never backed down from it. And I think that's where people are starting to relate to. You could be authentic. You don't have to know everything to be able to speak and be a real fan. And we're just turning it into content now. So Glad that you're a part of that, man. Have you picked up your AAA membership?
I haven't, but I'm getting ready to, man. This is the first time I'm called, bro. I'm on the show, man.
Hey, my boy is on the line. Look, that's crazy. You know what? And T, I just want to say this, man. I want to thank you because to hear your excitement, I feel like I don't feel like I've done anything just yet, man. But to hear your voice and hear the excitement about being on my little show, man, it's a blessing, man. It almost gets me emotional because I never saw this happening. So I appreciate your love for the channel and for the content, man, for the community. Because at the end of the day, I think my community is the reason why people get attracted to what we're doing over here. Not just what I'm doing, but how we interact in the chat. So I appreciate that, man. But before we get all sentimental and stuff, give me your breakout player on give me one from each side of the ball. I let everybody else do two. You the last phone caller tonight. Give me a breakout player from each side of the ball based off of our analysis of some of the players we talked about or some people you've been watching. Let me know what you're thinking.
I don't know too much, you know what I'm saying? Ex-football player, you know what I'm saying, out of college, man. I actually attended the University of Alabama from JUCO, so you know, just a student though. So I don't know too much, bro. But my offensive breakout player, I'm gonna say Jalen Milroe, man. With the scheme that Kalen DeBoer got going on right there, you're gonna see a lot of triple options and a lot of zone reads, a lot of read options. And RPOs, man, you're gonna see a lot of that. And of course, the deep balls, because you know he loved that. So.
That's his best ball. That's Jalen Milroe's best ball. And what's crazy is he's focusing on not showcasing that this year.
Yeah,
like that's what he focused on all spring. Let me learn how to hit these intermediates while they're in stride. Let me learn how to hit the deep crossers, that 17 to 21 range, deep crossers that hit him in stride. Jeremy Bernard play. First pass of the game where he completed the Jeremy Bernard on the deep crosser in man coverage, leading the guy to the sideline. Give him
a lot of that. Not to cut you off, my bad.
No, you good. You good.
And then of course we got the two great backs in the back. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a lot easier for him this year than it was last year under Tommy Rees. I hated Tommy Rees' scheme because he didn't work around Jalen Milroe and his abilities. But I think Caleb DeBoer and his offensive coordinators and just the whole staff alone, bro, I think they really building something off of him. And I think we don't have nothing to worry about. For real, if you ask me. So that's my offensive player, man.
Mm-hmm.
My defensive player, man, and you know I got to go with my boy Malachi Moore, man.
Oh, see, look at him. He done took the easy route on both sides. I thought you was gonna make it spicy at least, but nah, I get where you coming from with Malachi. I was able to talk to his family, man. His mom, Pimo, man, she solid. And when I say she's not just a football mom, she's like she knows the game of football. Sitting next to her during the close scrimmage was pretty interesting. It was pretty interesting. I felt like I was sitting next to a coach. I'm gonna just say that. So he come from a football family, and I think a lot of his motivation to really represent why his brother is there, and help his brother along, really challenge him and push him. I think that's going to be a big part of this year, and having that opportunity. I'm telling you, senior day, the moment I see Aiden get on that field with his brother, I might shed a tear, bro.
Yeah, for real.
I'm not even playing. Like I'm so serious.
Let me say this then, Snoop. Since you say I took an easy route, I can say I got one more on defense.
Go ahead.
Damani Jackson, man. I think he got a lot of proof, bro. With him coming from USC, and just everything that he had to endure over there.
Mm-hmm.
Now I think he's gonna have a way better season than he did last year for sure. And then just our scheme alone itself. I mean, don't nobody come through Bama wearing that number one, bro. They ain't gonna have a breakout season now. Let's just be real now. Come on, man.
I'm telling you, the last transfer corner we had, Trey Amos, I feel like he had reason to leave. He was very underutilized. I think last year, a lot of times where we could have had Caleb Downs and Malachi Moore playing over top and had Amos, Arnold, and Kool-Aid down there underneath. Key was taking up a lot of snaps that he was not deserving of. You had problems with Malachi at that star position sometimes. Arnold was definitely the best star role player in that scheme. it was an easy fix for me. And it would have benefited us greatly. Letting Caleb Downs play a lot more free safety than having him walk down in the box like we did. And letting Malachi play close to the line of scrimmage, being the strong safety in that scheme. But like you said, I think Damani Jackson steps up this year, has a breakout year. I think he's the one to really watch on the defensive side because I feel like, and contrary to popular belief is the little saying that they say, contrary to popular belief, I think a lot of quarterbacks are going to try Damani Jackson early because of because of his USC reputation. I really do. And
I do too.
And if they do that, they will be sadly mistaken. They will regret it, like deeply regret that. So anything you want to say before I let you off the line, man?
Hey man, I love what you're doing. Like I said, bro, I ain't really big on like the whole streaming and just watching content, bro. But I like what you putting out there, bro. And I mean, pretty much every time you drop something, if not on live, I'm tuned in, bro. I just don't even be on the chat, bro. Just don't ever think that it's people not watching, bro, because I don't never comment, bro. It's like I said, it's my first time calling in, dog. So
yeah,
keep
man,
doing your thing, man, and nothing but love and prosperity, bro.
Man, that means a lot, my guy.
Baby.
That means a lot, my guy.
Oh,
Roll Tide, man. Appreciate you for calling in, T. Much love, my boy.
For sure, Smook.
For sure, man. Roll Tide. That's crazy, y'all. That's crazy. You know what? And this is not a facade, y'all. I talk to my mom and dad like every other day when I get off these segments, and I'm telling you, I'm telling you, God is just continuing to blow my mind. Every day, He's continuing to blow my mind with the reach and the things that He's providing with me just doing something I've been doing my whole life, and that's talking Bama football. I've been doing this my whole life. I literally have been talking Bama football my whole life, y'all. My whole life. My parents to tell you, like since I was little, I used to talk Bama football all day. Me and my cousins, we used to be able to go home for Thanksgiving or a family reunion. I knew more about Bama football. We weren't privy in the late 90s. We weren't privy to seeing Bama games all the time. You know, 96 to like 99. We didn't get to see those years, many of those games, unless, you know, they were nationally televised. And you all know before 2001, a lot of Bama games weren't nationally televised. So we did a lot of our maintaining and keeping up with Bama football from afar. My grandmother, my uncle would send us tapes, cassette tapes, VHS tapes. And so we was watching games 3 or 4 days after they happened, you know, especially when we was in Panama. I remember rewatching the Alabama versus Miami game on VHS. And I think was my mom, who messed up our tape? Was it the movers or somebody messed up our tape? But yeah, those are the type of memories I have. So to know that something that I've just been passionate about my whole life, just bring this much joy to people. I know it's nothing but God, and I'm more than grateful for what He's doing in my life, man. And I appreciate everybody that came through tonight, man. Who was on the phone? That was Glenn Teague, I believe. I think that was Glenn Teague. He said this is first time calling in on the phone. But I'm gonna run through these super chats. I just want to thank you all personally. We was able to get a new member tonight. Shout out to Frederick for joining the AAA family. Shout out to Zachary Wilges with the $4.99 super chat. Shout out to my mother, Valencia Hines, Mama Smook with the $10. We got Crimson Blood with the $13. He sent that one especially for Uncle G. Shout out to Dwight with the $5 super chat. And shout out to Uncle J, just rolled through the end of the night with a $20 super chat. Listen, y'all, before we got it in here, what's up, PJ Steins? How you feeling tonight, man? Appreciate you for pulling up, my guy. Listen, before we get out of here tonight, y'all already know, man, don't forget, make sure that we are RSVPing. Make sure you RSVP for the event. We got the Outside with Coach Smook event here. Like I said, I think earlier, I just got a confirmation that 2 more people signed up. So that might leave us at 5. We got the Outside with Coach Smook event scheduled for Saturday, September 28th. Meet and greet is on the 27th. We're starting at 6 p.m. We'll start the meet and greet. It'll go until I got it marked till 9. You know what? I think I got an idea. So if everybody up like me, After this live, well, I'm not gonna be up. I lied. I did not know it was 11 o'clock. But listen, RSVP for the event. I'll get with the mods. It just sprung. An idea just sprung on me. So make sure y'all pulling up for that. And then to all my AAA members, this is for you guys. This is for you. Thank you all. And then after this, we'll close out the show. Welcome. First of all, I just want to say thank you for joining the AAA family. By doing so, you have committed to supporting this channel monetarily, and for that, I could not thank you enough. I'm glad that you saw fit to contribute to the growth of this network, and because of that, you will have access to all the behind the scenes content that we're going to be placing on this channel, backstage access to all the vlogs, VODs. We got all types of content. You will have early access to it. Also, any event that you see come out with outside with Coach Smook or anything sponsored or partnered with Coach Smook will be preferred. And we will all make sure that we're all taken care of. This community is going to continue to grow. Don't miss out on any opportunities to network. We have other content creators. We have business owners. We got entrepreneurs. This is Coach Smook Network because we believe in networking. We want to uplift the community. So thank you for contributing to helping that mission, seeing that goal. And that's really what we're here for, right? We're here to uplift and continue to grow. So thank you for all your contributions and welcome to the family. AAA SOS. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all for hanging out with your boy once again. It's your boy, Coach Smook. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow, 8 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. We might be a little late because I got leg day in the morning. What's up? Jake Merrill is in the chat. Supposed to have him on Thursday. Hopefully you remember. But might have him on tomorrow. We're going to see what Jake doing in the morning. We might need a co-host. Listen, Friday, I plan on bringing our permanent co-host on. And I know we really have two. We really have two. I know for sure one is going to be available every Friday. But our daily co-host, we're trying to announce him Friday. And I want it to be a surprise. You get what I'm saying? I want it to be a surprise. So y'all be ready, man. We added some fire to the show. We got prank phone calls this weekend. Saturday morning, we're going to do prank phone calls. We're trying to set it up. So y'all get ready to pull up. It's going to be a vibe. That stream probably going to last about 3-4 hours. I don't know. It's going to be a funny one. We're going to do prank phone calls. We're going to do some reaction videos live. We got a different vibe coming, man. We're doing all types of content. So with that being said, I appreciate each and every one of you all. Thank you for tuning in tonight. And as always, I'm your boy, Coach Smook. And this has been the Coach Smook Evening Show. Thank you for joining. God bless and roll tide.
Share, subscribe, because you know we keep it live, yeah. Like, share, subscribe, because you know we keep it live, like.